Welcome to the PyTorch Summer Hack. My name is Brad Heintz. I'm a partner engineer. No one ever knows what that means, but the short version is that my day job is helping developers around the world get the most out of our developer platform and open source products. Most recently, I have had the pleasure of working with our world-class AI team on PyTorch. And today, what I want to offer you is some thoughts about how to make best use of the facilities in PyTorch in the context of a hackathon. And I only have a few minutes, so we'll dive in. The first thing I want to impress upon you is that you have less than 2 days. And of course, machine learning is a deep field. The tools are often expensive in terms of time and compute power. But what this means to you in this room is that you need to have time in the back of your mind for every decision you make, which means, that's not right. That's better. All right. So what this means to you is that anytime you're considering a tool or process, you should be asking yourself and your team, do I really need this to ship an app by 3 o'clock Friday? So my mission here is to steer you away from some of the things you might typically do on an ML app and towards some tools and behavior that are going to make best use of your time in the short time we have together here. So what should you be doing to maximize your time? So for most machine learning projects, of course, you're going to need data to train your model. But of course, gathering and validating and cleaning and regularizing your data takes time that you don't have a lot of. So I would urge you to consider using some of the open data sets we make available through the Torch Vision, Torch Text, and Torch Audio libraries. These are well-known open data sets. Most of them can be downloaded and cached with a single line of code. And as a bonus, by the way, some of the experts who worked on these libraries are here today to share about them with you, and will be here through the event to answer your questions. Now, of course, the centerpiece of any machine learning project is the machine learning model. And you may be tempted to build your own model architecture, and I won't tell you not to, but I would, if you're doing a computer vision project, urge you to consider some of the open models we make available through the Torch Vision library. Now, these models are in wide use for a range of computer vision problems, including classification, object detection, segmentation, et cetera. And most of them can be downloaded and cached, again, with a single line of code. Their performance characteristics in terms of inference accuracy, time, and memory are all well understood. And depending on your application, they might give you a running start. Now, of course, with any ML model, the architecture is only half the game. You have to train the thing for it to be of any use. But of course, training takes time and compute power. So again, consider making use of some of the tools we make available. All the models I just mentioned in Torch Vision are available pre-trained. And you can download the learned weights and cache them locally very easily from code. The documentation also gives you some basic information about what these models are trained for, so you can see if any of them might be adaptable to what you're doing. And then, of course, it's still possible that none of the pre-trained models will be quite right for what you're doing. So what then? There's a slightly more advanced technique called transfer learning that I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with. But basically, you can take a pre-trained model, leverage it, add your own layers to the end of it for classification or some other task pertinent to your app. But the fact then that you have to only train your custom layers greatly reduces the time and the volume of data you need for training. So if this is your first time out with a machine learning project, I would urge you to be wary of picking up this tool right away. But if you want to freshen up on the topic, you can go to pytorch.org in the tutorials section, and there's a tutorial on transfer learning that shows off the process really well and how it works with a PyTorch module. So the last idea that I want to leave you with is that hackathons are all about what could be. What could be if we set aside even a very short time and embraced a vision and ran with it. The reason that I work at these events is that I am always impressed, blown away by the ambition and wit on display. And I know I speak for everyone here when I say we cannot wait to see what's in this room at 3 o'clock tomorrow.